Mr. Vincent Hall for an opening presentation. As he comes up, I'll briefly say that Mr. Hall is an award-winning writer who currently works on Commissioner John Willie Price's staff. Mr. Hall has been very involved in a number of civic and political undertakings throughout his career. He has served as a board member in various institutions such as Big Brother, Big Sister, United Way, MLK Advisory Board, the Dallas Police Advisory Commission, Dallas Grand Jury, the National Superconducting Superglider Development Authority, the Urban League Guild, and a plethora of other affiliations. So, Mr. Hall.
First and foremost, let me thank Director Romaine. Let's give him a hand. So, let me tell you what happened on the way to the show. They decided, well, Vincent, you can do the Negro National Anthem after Alfred Lynn did it this morning. For any of you that were here, if you weren't here, please go back and listen to the tape. She is one of the premier sopranos in the city of Dallas. She's way up there. So I decided, well, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do that. So I decided that since one of the things about Juneteenth that we've got to decide and figure out over the next few years is we've got to design how we want this holiday to go. We don't want it to be a bunch of mattress sales. We don't want it to be a day of barbecue and beer. We want it to be a day of education. So in that light, let me give you a little bit of education. It's very interesting, but the early Negro spirituals were made using the 5 black keys on the piano. It's called a pentatonic scale. A lot of people don't know that, but before the Europeans came with do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, we just used the 5 black keys. And some of the songs you know them, like, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Y'all remember that one? Then there was another one that was more of a jubilant church song. But then there were those other songs that we signaled each other when we were enslaved. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. That pentatonic scale is okay, isn't it? So then there's another song that all of you know that you might not know is part of the pentatonic scale. There was a slave ship owner by the name of John Newton, and he wrote the words to a song that everybody knows. He is given credit all over the world for writing the words, but the tune, they believe he heard it on a slave ship. And grace will keep me home. How about that pentatonic scale? All right. I'm so glad that we have a major musician today coming because music, I believe, is one of those venues by which we can teach all of America how to respect the African-American experience and at the same time fuse what we're feeling. One thing that happened, a lot of people don't know it, but For a long time in America, black music was called race music, and it was segregated for everything else. One of the first protest songs that came out after Jim Crow had been disassembled is a song that you know all the time. This is my last song. And this is basically what people look at as the beginning of the Civil War protest movement. I was born by the river in a little tent. And oh, just like that river, I've been a-running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it is. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's out there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Yes, it will. There's a lot going on right now, and a lot of it doesn't look good. But a change is gonna come. And I just thank you that we have this venue today to talk about Juneteenth and take it to that next level. Bless you all.
Thanks again, Mr. Hall. That was amazing. A round of applause for him again, please. So today we come together to honor and commemorate a month and a day that have shaped the fabric of our culture and history. As we celebrate Black Music Month, we also pay homage to the profound significance of Juneteenth, recognizing the harmonious relationship between music and the struggle for liberation. Black Music Month is a time to reflect upon the immense contributions of musicians throughout the African diaspora and the indelible mark they have left on the world of music. From gospel to blues, blues to hip hop, Black music has been a powerful source of expression, conveying the joys, the sorrows, and aspirations of generations. It has served as a catalyst for social change, elevating the voices of the oppressed and igniting the flames of revolution. Within the harmonies of Black music, we find the echoes of Juneteenth, a historic day that resonates deeply, particularly here in Texas. Juneteenth is a day of commemoration and celebration, marking the emancipation of enslaved African Americans in the United States. On June 19, 1865, in Galveston, Texas, General Gordon Granger delivered the long-awaited news, proclaiming the end of slavery, 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. The significance of Juneteenth for Texas cannot be overstated. It represents a turning point in our state's history, symbolizing the triumph of freedom over bondage. The resilience and determination exhibited by African Americans in Texas who persevered through unimaginable hardships are honored and celebrated on this day. The melodies of freedom that rang out on that historic Juneteenth day still reverberate through time, inspiring us all to strive for a society where justice and equality prevail. In today's commemoration, we also acknowledge the symbolic power of the Pan-African flag. Conceived by Marcus Garvey in 1920 as a beacon of unity and resilience. The colors of the flag hold profound significance, representing essential aspects of the heritage and aspirations of the African diaspora. The red stripe symbolizes the sacrifices and bloodshed endured by our African ancestors in the struggle for liberation. It echoes the passionate melodies and the unwavering determination of Black musicians who use their artistry to challenge injustice and uplift communities. The black stripe signifies the strength and unity of our people, reflecting the richness of our African heritage. In Texas, this stripe celebrates the diversity and cultural contributions of our African Americans who have shaped and enriched our state's identity in countless ways. Lastly, the green stripe represents hope and the promise of a better future. In Texas, this stripe embodies our aspirations for a society where every individual, regardless of their race or ethnicity, is treated with dignity and respect. It urges us to continue the work of creating a more inclusive and equitable Texas, where the legacy of Juneteenth shines brightly. As we gather here, united by the power of Black music and the significance of Juneteenth, let us embrace the harmonious blend of these two remarkable commemorations. Through the melodies and rhythms that have shaped our culture, let us pay tribute to the struggle for liberation, the resilience of our community, and the enduring legacy of Black musicians. Together, let us celebrate the power of music as a force for change and unity, and let us continue the march forward toward a future where the harmonies of justice and equality resound for all. And with that, I would like to introduce Commissioner John Willie Price, who's going to deliver additional remarks. Commissioner Price is the ranking member of the Dallas County Commissioners Court and has served in his elective capacity since becoming the first African-American to be elected to the court in 1985. Commissioner Price has been reelected 9 times overwhelmingly by the constituents of District 3, which is the largest in both population and land mass. In addition to fulfilling all the statutory duties of his office, Commissioner Price chairs and holds leadership positions or faithfully serves on 11 boards and committees that range from jail and juvenile services to mental health outreach and delivery. Commissioner Price balances his demanding schedule with a vibrant brand of community activism and a presence that has earned him the reputation as, quote unquote, our man downtown. Commissioner Price.
Thank you. Thank you. I was going to let Jason handle this and take it on. I'm trying to close out, believe it or not, close out the Commissioner's Court. We just finished executive session, and as the presiding, Mr. Mayor, good to see you. Thank you. And then Jason and I want to applaud him for, first of all, bringing the gentleman here today because, as I said, we've kind of had our disagreements, but he continues to work under some very challenging and dire circumstances. So I want to applaud him on that. Oh no, they didn't tell me about all of DeSoto up in here today. Yeah, okay. But anyway, it's just good to see you all. Black Music Month has its own mantra in terms of what we've delivered to this country. And it's amazing from Marian Anderson on back what African Americans have done in terms of contribution. And it's sad that we only talk about that during a time when, in fact, it is somehow sanctioned by the larger being. And so with that, I know you will enjoy the presentation today. And I just want to say thank you for coming. Got quite of a delegation here. And so thank you just for coming and being a part of Black Music Month. This morning, we were very pleased to have Alfred Roberts do the Black National Anthem. Mr. Martin, who is our court administrator, I think she brought him kind of the tears, but she'll do that. And she's no less than wonderful, an individual from Dallas, a product of the Dallas Independent School District. Both her parents are educators, and the family is definitely about music, and she was nothing short. So, Janet, have you had a chance to introduce the? Okay, so thank you. Give me 1 second, okay? Ready? Okay. Having returned from executive session, having dealt with those matters that were only allowed by law, there was no decisions made. Therefore, the Commissioners Court considers itself adjourned. Jason.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Before I introduce our special guest for today, I would like to thank Alpha Graphics of Irving Las Colinas for sponsoring today's event. They're extremely proud to support Juneteenth, Black History Month, and other important anniversaries for Black Americans. So thank you to Alpha Graphics Irving for your support. So Mrs. Scott Tixier, who's actually here setting up, getting ready, is a 5-time affiliated Grammy Award-winning French jazz violinist and 2018 Downbeat Critic Poll winner. He has performed, recorded, and toured with such jazz legends and music icons as Stevie Wonder, Kenny Barron, Elton John, Pink Floyd, Ed Sheeran, Cassandra Wilson, Coldplay, Chris Potter, John Legend, Christina Aguilera, Natalie Cole, Anthony Braxton, Ariana Grande, and many others. In addition to performing in and out of the jazz world, Tixier is known for his work on motion picture scores such as The Lion King, John Wick, Charlie's Angels, and TV shows including The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, as well as the previous format with David Letterman. Late Night with Seth Meyers, American's Got Talent, and most recently with Netflix for Spike Lee's new film, The Five Bloods, in collaboration with composer Terrence Blanchard, released in 2020. In 2022, Tixier was featured soloist for Jean-Baptiste's American Symphony premiere at Carnegie Hall in New York City. Tixier studied classical violin at the Conservatory in Paris. Following that, he studied improvisation as a self-educated jazz musician. He was based in New York for over a decade, where he performed in all the major venues across the United States, including Carnegie Hall, Radio City Music Hall, Madison Square Garden, Barclays Center, Jazz at Lincoln Center, Blue Note Jazz Club, Apollo Theater, Smalls Jazz Club, the Stone, and the United States Capitol. And he can add the Commissioner's Court to his bio. Grammy Award-winning bassist Marcus Miller says that Tixier made an international name for himself. I heard him in France and was immediately struck by his individuality and his sound. Guitarist Pat Metheny says, Scott has found a place for himself within the elite community of New York jazz musicians. No small feat. And Jean-Luc Ponty said, I have heard Scott's recordings, seen his live performances, and I think that he stands above the crowd of current jazz violinists around the world. Too much, okay. And well, he is a professor at UNT, and he can tell you a little bit more about himself as well.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's a huge honor for me to be here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, it's a huge honor to be here and to perform in America as an immigrant, because I've been here and I moved to the state when I was 19 years old, and I didn't know anybody. I didn't speak English at all. I moved to New York City, and it was pretty rough. And I had to do so many different immigration appointments at the county clerk of Kings County in Brooklyn. And I have anxiety whenever I step into a place like this, because it's like for an immigrant, it's not always nice, But believe it or not, I got a green card during COVID when Trump was president. If I can do that, we can do anything, So anyway, yeah. when I arrived in America, I didn't know anything. The only thing I wanted to do was improvise. So I've never been to a school in America. You wonder why I'm a professor at the UNT right now, but it's because I got a diploma from the Paris Conservatory to be able to. It's like a degree here. You can convert it into a doctorate. So anyway, what I wanted to say, it's like I'm very hot right now. It's like it's too warm, and I would love to be in Paris right now. I'm kidding. No, so I'm gonna improvise today. So everything I'm gonna play, it's I'm using an amp and some effects, so I can like create some textures, and so I can create music on the spot. But it's improvised, but with a kind of a structure, or maybe not. We'll see. So let's see if we can start something. right, so so this is like I use a loop pedal, so I loop myself. I create something and then I try to let it go. You know. So the next one that I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna do something because I can feel the energy here. There's sometimes I can change a little bit like the thing that I thought I was gonna do. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'm not going to use the loop pedal anymore for this one. I'm gonna try to play something. Maybe you recognize, maybe you don't. Maybe I don't recognize it. I don't know. We'll see. So, but it's going to be very abstract and improvised. But try to, if you can close your eyes, you can. If you rather look at the violin, you can. If you want to look at my feet, you can also look at my jacket. It's a French jacket. All right, let's go. I don't know if you heard about the Errol Garner before, but it was Misty. Yeah, almost. Yeah, so it was Misty by Errol Garner. But if you think it was Stardust, it's because I kind of quoted Stardust in it. But also I got lost at some point. So maybe it was both. So anyway, so as a French person, my heritage is very complicated, as the colonization would say. It's very complicated. I'm from West Indies, Martinique, and my ancestors were slaves. And being mixed, coming from France, coming to America, for me it was a big cultural shock. Coming into this society that is very unequal, to put it I don't want to do too much politics here because we're in the court and I'm scared. And I still want citizenship, so. So I just applied actually for citizenship, and the next day I got an email from the Dallas County, and I was like, oh wow, it was so fast. It was a different reason, but anyway, so yeah, being in a situation of coming to a culture, a society where you really, because I moved here when I was 19, and before I was 19, I promise I never knew that I was black. I never knew. I thought I was just a dude playing violin. And then I moved to America. And the first question they asked me is like, are you white or black? And I had to fill it out. So I called my parents and I said, hey, that's crazy. This is like, they're asking me my skin color. That's crazy. I was like, and I couldn't understand because I'm not from the same culture. But being here for 17 years now, I understand. And this, I don't know if there's a best way what's the best way to be in a equitable and fair society. But at least we are trying here, but it's not working. So, I just want to say, like, for me, with my music, what I'm trying to do is, and I'm not trying, what I'm doing, it's showing all the power of being free and having to do only what you want to do, and being respected for what you are, and being seen, basically. So this is a big subject, but when I started music, for me it was just technique and just learning an instrument. And then I moved to America, and it became a quest. It's not, I don't care about the instrument. I really care about the expression that I get from the instrument. So it's beyond the music. It's really a philosophy of life, being a jazz musician. And jazz music is mixed with so many different cultures. And this is also a music that was created here in America. And you know by who? Yeah, but most important, it was created by black folks. Like, it's important to say it because people forget about it, and sometimes it's like you get to learn this music by in books and with academicians that have no idea of what is it to be on the scene, on the road, playing this music. And my ancestors played it during the segregation. They have to be strong and keep their heads up. So whenever I play music, this music, it's not just music. It's an important tool to bring people together. So. Yeah, especially as a mixed person, because I have both heritage, and for me it's always hard to say that in America, but I'm also white, even though you don't see it, but and and I think it's important to recognize that I'm not just one dimension. I'm complex, and I think you can be black and also be. There's not one way to be black. There's not. So I always have a problem when people say black people, because for me it's more about respecting everybody's individuality, and we come together because we are oppressed. I get this. But we have to keep remembering that we are all complex and all very similar, but extremely different. Everybody is different, has different heritage. So that was my 2 cents. But okay, I'm gonna keep playing. And one more thing. So my grandmother, she's from the Highland. She just passed away a few months ago, and she was an amazing woman. And because we also talk about racism here in America, but racism is not only in America; it's everywhere, and it's also in France, where I grew up. I never felt comfortable in a restaurant when I was 12 years old, going into a restaurant. First, I was maybe going to a restaurant once every 2 years because we are very poor. But even like a very low-key restaurant, it was really hard for me to feel comfortable in France because everybody was looking at me and being like, oh, you want to put a microphone on me? Because I talk too good. Yeah, I just upgraded my... So... One, two, 1, 2. Oh, sorry. 1, 2. Yeah. There we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me? Bring up a little bit on your side. Yeah. I got you. It's too hot. 1, 2. Can you hear me a little bit? It's okay, right? So, yeah. What I was saying is like being in a public space as somebody who was non-white was really hard in France too. So I'm not sure if I was called today to talk about this, but I'm just gonna put it there. And so I felt like always like I was out of place, and especially older people that were happened to be white were looking at me always like in a threatened way, or they had fear. They're like, why is this person here? You know, looking at my hair. I used to have like crazy hair, like even more, like this. I was like, you know, I'm 37 years old, so it's not the same anymore. It's not the same texture, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, so yeah, and I was always feeling out of place, and I have to, and my mom always got comments about all my schoolmates. They were like, oh, why is she black? Why is your mom black? And or comments like, oh, she's so beautiful for a black woman. And I was like, it really break somebody's self-esteem when you're so young. I was lucky because my parents are artists, so they always like talk to me and be like, yeah, like try to understand this. Those people have mental illness, you know, so not worry. So like they're just full of fear and they're ignorant. So like we're too smart for them. So it's that's why they say this kind of things. So I think my parents really protected me from that. But as I become an adult and I came to America as a 19 years old person, all those flashbacks came back, you know, and I realized that I was more affected by it than I wanted to believe, you know. So music, when I play music, I travel all around the world. I play in so many different countries and continents. And when I went to West Africa, a little bit before COVID, and it was my first time in Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, and people were laughing when I was in pharmacy. I also had like eat something really bad, so I was like, and it was really hard. And they were laughing, and I was like looking, and they'll say, oh, the white boy is here. And I was like, what? I'm white? So first time, and they were saying like, yeah, the white boy is here, and they're laughing, and it really appeared to me something really interesting. Depending on where you are in the world, there's always like a reminder that you can almost like change side in a way. It's like yeah, exactly. And it made me want to actually study and go back to school, you know. And it was really interesting. And I asked them why. I said, "Oh, we never saw somebody that white, you know, here, around here." And then I had an American dude with me on the tour, and he was a white male and bald, and he come in, and they couldn't keep it. They was like, "Oh, he's even whiter than you," and I was like, and, anyway, so it was interesting. And so for me, what I think it's important to be aware of this, because wherever I am in the world, I'm always myself, and I'm not somebody who's going to be having preconceived idea because I've been lucky enough to travel and see the world in its entire, like so much thing I toured with. I was homeless for a few months in New York. I was in the street. I went to play on yachts with Stevie Wonder, things like this. So I did all the different spectrum of possibilities, and at a young age. So I think it's really opened my eyes to always like see the person before I see somebody, even like somebody's appearance, or somebody's culture, or somebody's accent, somebody's even I would say like the way they dress, or like it's always wrong. It's always like the person is. You can find similarities in. I went to China, and this dude was like a brother. I thought I knew him for 20 years. And we have different culture. We don't have the same language, but we play music together. And playing music, improvising was like just the way we really connected. And it was like, so I really believe that the art and music and any kind of art and it is a vehicle to bring people together. And I just want to use my platform and my background and where I'm from to change things from the inside. Being a professor, I'm one of the only black professors in UNT teaching jazz. It shouldn't be normal. Like I mean like it's almost like a joke, like to have like only 2 professors that are black at UNT and that teach jazz, black music. Okay, so there's this, and then I try to represent, like representation is important, being able to show students that are black that they have somebody that has a power and is at a position where they can feel comfortable to be themselves. So all these kind of things. So that said, I'm gonna play another improvisation, and and this time I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something a little bit mystical. Let's say that. So. Okay. Oof. Okay. Can't take it. It's too much. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna play another one, real quick. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know it's what time is it? Oh, it's right here. Oh yeah. So I want to play more if it's okay. Do you have any judgment to do or? Oh, is it too late? It's too much? Am I going to get into trouble?
If anybody does need to be
I'm going to do one more. One more. And then I promise I won't talk. And just so you know, I'm happy to be here now. I feel better.
We got your stream.
Yes. Oh, well, just so you know, I'm a lawful citizen. Okay, I'm a lawful. And I don't drink. Only red wine. Only red wine. I'm gonna play John Coltrane. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
I want him to know I enjoyed his social commentary as much as his music. He talked about the class system, and since you just got to America, New Orleans had the largest plantation in the country. Wow. And that's what, when you study New Orleans, you'll find out. And of course, that was the origin of jazz. Jazz came out of the New Orleans experience. And so, brother, thank you very much for being here with us and blessing us with both your music and commentary. Andre, I know y'all gonna find it hard to believe that I listen to anybody else other than Nelly, but there was somebody named Andre Vollenweider. You're with
Yeah.
You're familiar?
Yeah, of course.
I listened to Vollenweider.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. But thank you.
Do you know John Baptiste?
John Baptiste.
He's from New Orleans.
Yes, I know. No, John Baptiste.
And I have a twin brother. He plays piano, and he's right now in Paris with John. John is in Paris. John Baptiste.
Yeah.
And they play together doing with Lenny Kravitz
Yes.
at the Eiffel Tower
Yeah. Okay.
tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. At the Eiffel Tower.
It's gonna be on 9. So.
Okay. Just you gonna give me a ticket to go to the Eiffel Tower tomorrow?
It's on you.
Okay. Thanks again. Man.
Thank you so much for
Enjoy the refreshment. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just thanks again for everybody for coming. Commissioner Price had cupcakes made for this event, so pick one up on your way out and get a parking validation as well. And there's some flags, some Pan-African flags as well for you to take home.
And the flag, the Pan-African flag, Jason has done it. It now will adorn the Commissioner's Court from now to eternity.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
This was special.
Yeah, thank you.
So I've been listening a lot to talking about